Welcome, brave souls, to Into the Crawl Space, the channel where we dive deep into the hidden, the eerie, and the unknown. I'm Bates, your guide through the shadows, and together we'll explore chilling tales, spine-tingling mysteries, and the secrets lurking beneath our feet. So grab your flashlight, because you never know what you might find lurking in the dark. Anna used to be radiant, practically glowing with life. When she graduated from university, her eyes sparkled with plans for her gap year, a journey to find herself. She promised her parents she'd return wiser, stronger, and more grounded. But the girl who left was not the one who came back. The day Anna returned, her parents noticed changes right away. Her skin, once a golden tan, now seemed oddly pallid, almost translucent, stretched too tightly over her cheekbones. Shadows clung beneath her eyes, giving her a perpetually sleepless look. She seemed quieter, distant, but they chalked it up to jet lag. After all, she'd been trekking through distant, ancient forests in Eastern Europe, camping in valleys where mist clung thickly, and crossing rivers that gleamed dark and cold under the moonlight. Only a week had passed when they noticed her appetite waning. Anna hardly touched her food, pushing aside her mother's cooking, her gaze fixated elsewhere as if distracted. One evening, her mother found Anna in the backyard, her face to the night sky, eyes wide, mouth slightly open, as if she were drinking in the darkness. Her father laughed nervously when he saw, but her mother felt an unease creeping up her spine. It was Anna's cat, Jeff, that disappeared first. He was her childhood companion, his scruffy gray fur and lazy purr, a comfort to her since she was a child. He was always waiting on her pillow at night. But one morning he was gone. Her parents assumed he had wandered off, maybe hunting field mice, but Anna simply shrugged when they mentioned it, her expression unnervingly blank. When their dog, Max, a lumbering, loving golden retriever, went missing only days later, they became truly worried. Her father searched the woods near their home, calling Max's name until his voice grew hoarse. Still, Anna didn't seem affected. She sat by the window, watching with an expression almost satisfied. The tension only grew. Anna began to retreat more and more, vanishing into her room for hours at a time. When her mother passed by the door, she sometimes caught strange sounds from within. A soft murmuring that didn't sound like Anna's voice. It was too low, too guttural. Her mother tried to brush it off, but it lingered in her mind like a shadow at the edge of her vision. One night, a foul smell crept through the house, a rot clinging to the walls. Her father searched the kitchen, then the basement, but the source eluded them. Anna emerged from her room, her face slack, her eyes too bright. She looked at her parents and gave a smile that was all teeth, her lips barely lifting. The smell grew worse each time she was near, hovering over her like a cloud. It was around this time that her mother noticed something strange. Anna's once soft hands were now rough and dreary, her fingers almost claw-like. Her nails seemed to have hardened and lengthened, and her hair, once so vibrant, was thinning, each strand falling limply against her scalp as if lifeless. That was when her parents stopped trying to ignore the truth. They knew something was deeply wrong. They tried to talk to her, to ask about her travels, to reach the daughter they once knew, but Anna remained distant. When her mother looked closely, she could swear she saw her daughter's skin pulsing, as if something lay beneath it, stretching and twisting. It was a sickening sight, and that smell, the scent of something old and decayed, grew stronger each time she was near. One evening, as a storm raged outside, her father, unable to sleep, went to check on her. He found her in her room, crouched on the floor, her head bowed, her back facing him. She was murmuring, a guttural chant in a language he couldn't understand, something ancient and foreign. Her shoulders moved in a jerky rhythm, and her hair hung around her face in damp, stringy clumps. A dark stain spread across the carpet around her knees. "Anna," he whispered, his voice barely audible. She turned slowly, her face half shrouded in shadow, her eyes too wide, too wild. Her lips parted, revealing teeth stained with something dark and sticky. A shudder went through him, his body freezing in place as he took a small step back. He didn't recognize his own daughter. And then she smiled, a smile that wasn't hers, that couldn't be hers. It stretched too wide, her lips cracking and bleeding at the edges, exposing not just teeth, but sharp, glinting things that glistened wetly under the dim light. Her mother tried to intervene to pull him from the room, but Anna lunged, hissing, her movements swift and animalistic. She clawed at them, shrieking with a voice that sounded layered, as if something else screamed through her. They fled, locking themselves in their bedroom, trembling as they heard her pacing outside the door, scratching and muttering in that foreign, ancient language. The sounds of her murmurs grew deeper, raspier, filled with a hatred as old as time itself. Her father whispered to her mother that he thought she was possessed, that she had brought something back from those ancient forests, something that had seeped into her, consumed her. When morning came, they found her slumped in the hallway, her skin an unnatural shade of gray, her mouth smeared with blood. She lifted her head, smiling as if she had won some terrible victory. Days passed in silence, the smell of rot worsening. They dared not go near her, but she didn't seem to need them anymore. She had fed, and whatever lay beneath her skin had grown. One night, as the clock struck midnight, Anna awoke with a scream that echoed through the house, shaking the walls. Her parents rushed to her, only to find her thrashing, writhing on the floor, her body twisting in unnatural ways as if something was trying to tear free. Her skin stretched, cracking, the pale flesh splitting open, and beneath it, something dark and glistening writhed. Her parents stumbled back in horror, watching as her skin split, tearing with a sickening rip, revealing something black and red, with skin that looked like burning coal, pulsing and hungry. With a final agonized scream, Anna's skin tore away completely, and what rose from the remains of their daughter was a towering, horrific creature, its eyes hollow and hungry, its claws dripping with blood. It opened a mouth filled with rows of serrated teeth, the scream filling the house with a darkness that was alive, ancient, and hungry. The demon had incubated, feeding on her, and now it was free. And that wraps up our exploration for today. What did you think of the hidden horrors we uncovered? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, the crawl space holds many secrets, and we've only just scratched the surface. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more spine-chilling stories and explorations. Until next time, keep your lights on and your curiosity alive. Who knows what might be waiting just around the corner or beneath the floorboards?